how, like, so you just were there, COVID, and you didn't know what to do with your life, so you just decided to start filming people. So how did you meet your partner? Because you
Uh,
do it with Rita.
yeah, Rita. Well, Rita. So I make so they're like little short form documentaries. They're about 5 minutes long. They're kind of usually they're a bit humorous and so. But a few days after I moved to Lisbon, I met this girl who was this great photographer called Rita Ansone, and
Where is she from?
she's from Latvia. Latvia.
Latvia, yes.
And I said to her, I said, look, why don't you take photographs of the people and I'll make the little documentaries and we'll just do that, you know? And that's what we've done ever since. So
So
we try and have a new video out every Thursday.
one question.
Yeah.
When you decided to create People of Lisbon,
Yeah.
how long were you in Lisbon for?
About a week and a half.
Wait a minute, you just arrive and you just decide, let me film people.
Well, you have to be doing something in this world, you know what I mean? And I wasn't doing anything. And so, you know, you kind of like, you have to bear in mind, this was 2 months into COVID. You know, even though Lisbon was open or Portugal was open, it was still ghostly quiet at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because there was no tourists coming, not many anyway. There was a
Yep.
few, but there wasn't many. And I just figured I needed to be doing something. You know, I had essentially traveled for most of the previous 2-3 years. And so I thought to myself, what could be positive for the people at this time that might help the people in a little way? And I thought, well, when I was traveling around the world, I made this kind of travel vlog, which I called the Laid Off Founder, and I taught myself like some very basic kind of vlogging documentary skills. But the
Okay.
problem was that all the camera was pointed at me all the time, and I thought, well, maybe it'd be great if I turned the camera around and stop pointing the camera at me and point it at other people, and make videos about people and showcase people that way, and that might be good, positive thing for the people at this time. And that was it. It was very, very simple in its concept. Any idea that I have tends to be extremely simple. Um,
But it
and then,
works,
and
effective.
then I'm a believer in getting out of the way of the idea. You know what I mean? Let the idea
So,
lead the way.
and how did you finance the show?
Well, people of Lisbon.
Yes.
I'm still trying to finance people. Lisbon.
So how did you get your first sponsor? How did you get
Li-
into planes? Because listen, I was in the plane going to Disney with my daughter, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden I see myself in a top plane. I was like, that was a proud moment for me.
feels
So
good. Feels good, doesn't it? Seeing
yeah,
yourself on an
listen, I'm
airplane.
here like, yo, that's me in the plane. So
Isn't it interesting when you see yourself on a certain type of screen that you feel a bit more special? Like it's like, what is the difference between an airplane screen and the screen that we're looking at right now? Nothing really, but it just makes you feel a little
big,
bit more like, oh my
I
god,
think it's more it's
I'm on the
more
back of a plane.
exclusive. It's more
Yeah,
exclusive because it's not
yeah,
everybody, and not only nowadays we are on screen, we have access to the whole world, but the whole world has so much choice. But when they are inside of a plane, it's really part of a programming that is, even if they have choice, it's still limited to really like what's there. And you're like, oh, listen, I'm in a plane, so it's, you know.
yeah. No, yeah. So 3 or 4 months after we started doing the videos, and we were very consistent in having a new video out every week. We literally got contacted by TAP Airways, which is the national airline of Portugal, and they
They
basically said,
contacted you.
yeah, they contacted us and they said, we love your
That's
videos and we'd love to
great.
have the videos on the airplane. And
That's
yeah, I
amazing.
I always felt that the airplane, like that, I always thought that would be a great audience for the videos because the videos are all in
Yeah.
English and they showcase Portugal, Lisbon in a very good way. So I thought it'd be good for an audience visiting because most of the videos are watched transatlantic, people flying from America or South America to Lisbon, Portugal. And it's just a good audience. It's our best audience, you know. It's where our videos get watched the most, and because when you're sitting on one of those seats and you're on a 7-hour flight, right? Okay, you watch one of the videos and then you actually watch the next video and then you watch the next video. So what's interesting is that people watch like 16 videos. I've seen the analytics from the airline, and people watch 15, 16 videos in a row.
That's
Whereas
crazy.
whereas on YouTube somebody's more likely to turn off after 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Actually, when I watched when the algorithm just proposed it to me, I think I watched like 10 episodes, and
Well, that's great.
I liked and commented on everything that I watched.
Yeah, well, that's
I
how I
love the
met
one.
you. That's actually where I reached
Yeah,
out to you.
exactly. Yeah,
You
from my
commented on
comments.
commented on one of our videos, and I remember like then that had me dip onto your channel and check out your story, and that's what had me reach out to you. And I think
Yes.
you were something like, I thought you were episode 102 or something of it, but I think you were more like 100 or 98 or something.
Yeah, 190 something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because we
So
took some
we,
time to do it.
so we try and do videos about all different types of people, and so we have done videos about all different types of people. Like,
How do you find them?
literally. How do we find the people? We find them very spontaneously. Often they contact us via social media. Sometimes I'll just meet somebody who I'll find to be interesting. I think they might be good. Sometimes people will suggest people. Often it's in a day or two before we actually film the video. Very lastminute.com. In terms of, yeah, it can often be that way. But go ahead.
Would you do people of Paris, people of Porto, people of Algarve, people of Bangkok, like the same way you had balcony TV all around the world? Would you like expand it as well, or have people expand it the same way, make it a decentralized entity again?
Well, I got a couple of mixed feelings about that. One part of me likes that idea. The other part of me is that with Balcony TV, a bit of megalomania crept in at a certain point, and then I was like, wow, how many places can we get this all around the world? Let's take over the world with this tiny concept that is so small, and let's see if we can take over the world with the smallest idea in the world, and that's what we tried to do.
Because
And we failed in the end. We failed in the end, but we gave it a very good shot. But with that came huge amounts
from failure
yeah.
comes a lot of experience, and you know how to fail. Once you know how to fail, you can fail again, but you know how to control more or less the concept and not let a big company screw it. So I mean, because to me, I believe that people of Kinshasa would be amazing. People of Brazzaville would be amazing. People of Kigali would be amazing. People from Roma, and not even to go too far. People of Porto,
Yeah.
same country. Like,
I like the idea, but
it's just how do you execute?
Yeah. So with Balcony TV, we had people in the cities that would make the other balcony shows, but it was a concept show. It was very simple, and it was a concept that you could just reproduce.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we let other people in the other cities make the videos? So I'm in two minds about whether we should do that. Although we do have the idea of maybe us going to other cities and making the videos in other cities, but then there is something about cute and local and keeping it in its own little bubble.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to take over the world.
I mean, there is
but if somebody wants to give me a big amount of cash, then I'll give it a go again.
because I remember that those travel YouTubers, they just started walking the street of their cities, and now they're all around the world, and they have millions of views on everything. So
I mean, the people of Lisbon is different. It's they're short form documentaries, really.
For Lisbon,
they're short form documentaries. They're not vlogs, and it's actually one of the things that upsets us. I'm sure you know about the pain of the YouTube algorithm. So unfortunately, our videos just don't come up in YouTube search that easily, and even if you type in very specifically what you're looking for, they won't necessarily come up, which is heartbreaking. because people that watch them like them. We know that people like them because people contact us from watching them on the airplanes. Like, oh my God, your videos are amazing. How come they're not watched more on YouTube and stuff? Not that I would expect them to be watched like millions of times or anything like that. I do understand that it's a relative audience. But still, though, it's heartbreaking when you just type in the name directly of a obscure person and the video doesn't even come up on YouTube. You know
I think that the problem is in the name, because when you type Lisbon, there's so much.
Oh yeah, sure.
So many videos and everybody's doing videos about Lisbon. So when you say people of Lisbon, maybe because the not the title, but the two words that are people and Lisbon are so generic that maybe the algorithms just throw you houses and all the vloggers that are talking about Lisbon and et cetera, instead of
It's
showing
interesting.
you.
In my YouTube history, the algorithm didn't work for Balcony TV either. So even though we
Oh
did
Lord.
20,000, even though we did 20,000 shows as well, we didn't. Our videos didn't get watched a huge amount either. Every so often there'd be a breakout kind of video, and that was just always completely random. It just felt like we won the lottery accident. It was just totally accident. I don't know
At
why
least
certain
when I
videos are so
search,
big. Yeah.
that's the first result. So I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is like if you type in somebody's like if you type in horse rider Lisbon, for example, or horse Lisbon or something, if you type in something specific to one of the videos, you would like our video that's related to that concept to come up. So maybe it will come up now. But if you type in horse Lisbon, then in theory we did a video about a horse. There it will come
Yeah,
up
there
first. There.
is.
So what do I know? So don't listen to me. I know nothing. But that's because YouTube's listening to us right now, and it's just trying to play with
I
our
mean,
mind.
and it's the algorithm. Once you start understanding how it works, and I've been really understanding and testing stuff. Probably because I've been to the website, to the YouTube channel a few times already, and I watch. Whenever you put the link on the WhatsApp group, I click it, and I go put a like and watch it. My algorithm knows what I'm searching for when I type people of Lisbon,
Yeah,
because
right,
it always serves me the new ones. Because whatever, actually, when people say, hey, I don't see you, it's usually because they didn't look. Because I think what a lot of people think, I mean, it's true, the algorithm is obscure, but in reality the algorithm is really what you make of it, and it's really whatever the person is looking is gonna define what they gonna look. Even if they only look a certain political views video, they will get a ton of that, because the algorithm is trying to make them happy and stuff. So, and actually the reason why I got to people of Lisbon was that I was looking for houses, I was looking for apartments, and I really wanted to move to a new place, and I kept looking for stuff, and then one of your videos popped up, and I clicked in, and I was like, hey. Then I went to the channel, subscribed, leave some comments, and there you go.
Do you want to hear one of my best YouTube stories?
Yes.
See if I can remember this quickly. Okay, so here's a good story. So, I'm trying to get the story in my mind. Here we go. So 2 years after we started Balcony TV, it was 2008. And at this point, we made about 600 Balcony TV videos from our balcony in Dublin. And
Wow.
YouTube was just getting massive at the time. Now, the founder, by pure coincidence, the founder of YouTube was visiting Dublin in 2008, right? And he was a guy called Chad Hurley, right? Chad Hurley was from the founders of YouTube.
Yep.
So he was going to speak at this kind of white tablecloth dinner in Dublin. So I thought to myself at the time, I have to figure out a way to meet the founder of YouTube, so I can get him to help me move Balcony TV to the next level.
Top.
So I gate
to
crashed.
The homepage.
So I broke into this dinner, Mission Impossible style, and, and when I got in the door, there was this big table map inside the door, which showed kind of like where everybody was supposed to sit at these white tablecloth dinners, right? So I looked where the founder of YouTube was going to sit, and I thought, right, I'm going to go and sit at that table. So I went to that table, and there was a place name right next to the guy, whoever was supposed to sit next to the founder of YouTube, and I swapped out the name, and I sat next to what I hoped was going to be the founder of YouTube. So lo and behold, the founder of YouTube sat next to me, and he was about 28 years of age, I would say, kind of blonde hair, and so we're there sitting there, and I'm a bit shy, and there's a couple of boring speeches being made. I'm trying to build up the courage, and I finally said to him, I said, listen, Chad, nice to meet you. My name's Stephen. I said, don't you find these speeches like really boring? And he said, yeah, I do find them a bit boring, to be honest. And I said, wouldn't you much rather just go to some bars in Dublin and experience Dublin pubs? And he said, actually, yeah, you know what? That is what I like to do. And I said, well, why don't we go? And, I can show you the best pubs in Dublin. And he was like, all right, come on, let's go. So myself and him and two
But
or
did
three
he speak
others,
already?
not much. So myself and him and two or three others escaped this dinner where he was the guest of honor at. And we went to bars all around Dublin, right? And we ended up in a bar in Dublin at 3:00 in the morning doing tequila shots, me and the founder of YouTube. Okay?
Yo.
So
With
me and
Chad.
the founder, me and Chad, like, we're like becoming best friends, and I was like super excited about this. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be such a big thing for Balcony TV. So he gave me his email address, which, believe it or not, was chad@youtube.com. And actually, over the course of my life, I often learned that people's email addresses was often just very, very simple.
Yeah.
So sometimes you should just guess people's email addresses, and sometimes you get lucky. Anyway, the next morning I woke up raging hangover, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm going to email the founder of YouTube now and ask him, does he want to go for coffee before he goes back to America? And I thought, well, wait a second. First thing I'm going to check the news, because that's the automatic thing I do every morning, so just read the news.
Oh, Lord.
First of all. So I went on to bbc.co.uk, and literally in the technology section, which was on the front page of the website,
to Google.
the breaking news was Chad Hurley sells YouTube to Google for $1.6 billion, whatever, literally that morning. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, how many tequilas did I give him last?
Steve and Chad. There was a third one, but it was. I remember the first time when the YouTube the website started with the elephant video in the zoo. It was the three of them. I remember seeing that, because at that time I was using Vidler, and all of a sudden, and Dailymotion too. Yeah, they were
all of the Balcony TV videos are on Dailymotion. Definitely can find them. So it's interesting, Mike. It's funny. You've had this evolution with YouTube, and I've had a different evolution with YouTube. So there was a certain point after a year and a half of YouTube where YouTube decided to They tried to localize YouTube. So what I mean by that is they decided to launch YouTube Britain and YouTube Ireland,
France, YouTube Spain. I remember.
So when they launched YouTube Ireland, they asked us to make their launch videos of YouTube in Ireland. So we made these videos just where we're on the balcony going, welcome YouTube to Ireland. And we briefly had a good relationship with them, where they would put our videos on the front page of YouTube Ireland, which is, the power of that at the time was just huge. I mean, if the video was on the front page of YouTube, even if it's just YouTube Ireland, it was just 150,000 views. You know what I mean?
I remember I had one video, one of my songs that stayed on the homepage for a month.
Yeah.
And this video now has 16 million views.
Yeah.
That was crazy. At that time on YouTube France.